2018 was an impressive year for the Big Sky Conference, with 3 teams reaching the FCS tournament quarterfinals and 8 players named to the FCS All-American team. National runner-up Eastern Washington, UC Davis, and Weber State will look to follow up on last year's impressive campaigns with a return to the playoffs. Montana and Montana State will also look to reach the playoffs this season, with many returning starters on both squads. Eastern Washington is the favorite in my eyes to have the deepest playoff push in 2019 as well. They've got talented returning players on offense in juniors Eric Barriere, quarterback, and running back Antoine Custer. Sophomore wide receiver Andrew Boston returns to lead the wide receiver group and take over the mantle for top receiver after Nasimba Webster graduated. Barriere and his playmakers will look to carry the offense after his 31 touchdowns in only 10 starts last season. The running game also shows a lot of promise, as the offensive line has returning players in Spencer Blackburn, Chris Schlichting, and Caleb Laval. With no games against the other top teams in the conference, Weber State, UC Davis, and Montana State, the Eagles are in prime position in the Big Sky. In 2018, UC Davis quarterback Jake Meyer was the Conference Player of the Year, and he led the Aggies to the program's best season with a 10-3 record and a share of the Big Sky Conference title. He threw for 2,931 yards and 34 touchdowns last season, and he'll look to go out with a bang in his final year, bettering those stats and possibly leading his program to the playoffs once again. He'll have plenty of help with one of the top running backs in all of the FCS in Alonzo Gilliam. Junior wide receiver Jared Harrell and senior tight end Wes Priest will look to contribute to Meyer's campaign and carry the offense. The Aggies graduated key defensive players such as linebacker Mason Moe and defensive back Vincent White. The Montana State Bobcats are a talented enough squad to return to the postseason in 2019. They return key players such as defensive end Bryce Stirk, who was one of the top defensive linemen in the conference in 2018. If they can play consistently for 60 minutes on defense, they can end up as one of the top units in the conference and carry the team. Weber State running back Josh Davis had a huge freshman year, tallying 1,362 yards and 9 touchdowns. The Wildcats' offense was on his shoulders in 2018, and he'll look to be the team's offensive leader in 2019 as well. The defense was the top unit last season, leading the team to gritty victories over top teams Eastern Washington and Montana State. Questions do surround the unit, though, after they lost LeGrand Toya and Landon Stice. Similarly to Weber State, the Montana Grizzlies had a very strong defense with returning starter linebacker Dante Olson, who will be competing with North Dakota State linebacker Jabril Cox for the top linebacker in the conference. Northern Arizona, Idaho, Portland State, and Idaho State are all talented teams that may push for title contention in 2019, but if their seasons last year are any testament, they'll need to show more consistency to do so. The Portland State Vikings are the wild card to watch if their All-American tight end, Charlie Tampapoe, has another fantastic year. Sacramento State, Cal Poly, Southern Utah, and Northern Colorado all have a long way to go in order to challenge in the Big Sky.